We're going to have Charles, who's the patron for the charities, to say a few words. We're going to have Joe, who's the chairperson of CHEXS, to say a few words. I'll say a few words. And then we have two guest speakers who've worked with CHEXS, and they're going to just tell you about their experiences. So, and then we've got a lovely buffet, and we have an amazing cake that's been made by Penny, our cake decorating tutor, for afternoon tea.
Shall we give Penny a round of applause?
Round of applause. Very nice. Without further ado.
Well, Peter, thank you very much. It's fabulous to be here today, and I've been your patron for many years, and let's be honest, I'd like to be patron for a few more years, to be fair. I know we're in general election purdah and I shouldn't say things like that, but that is in the gift of the people of Broxbourne. And I have to say, I'm delighted to see that table full of key rings, because when I was arrived, I went to that table, and I was asked if I'd like a key ring, and there were only two. Oh. And I thought it would be awful if I took one of the two key rings. I didn't see this table with fridge magnets and key rings and all sorts of pens, so can I say load up, really? Because they're not there for decoration, are they?
There's lots of boxes underneath. Yeah, I've been taking a couple of tips from some of the trustees to do more marketing.
Excellent.
So I was like, okay, we'll do a little bit of marketing.
Well, look, I've known Peter for a number of years, and he is a local hero. We'll all agree with that, won't we? Yeah. And actually, he's supported by a team of local heroes. And there are so many occasions in the past 7 or 8 years when you and your team have brought a smile to my face. Digging up vegetable patches, organising troops of small children with spades and forks, trying to ensure that eyes aren't taken out and feet taken off. The Grow Club in July, when all the vegetables arrive. Have you seen these amazing vegetables that are grown? And you see parents turning up, children, advisors, and sometimes it's an enormous success because it's cool, and other times we've had days when it's been 85 degrees and all the pak choy has wilted and it's desperate. You see these little children and parents absolutely distraught because the pak choy has melted. We have worked with employers. There are so many things, healthy food clubs, and I can't do you justice. But Peter, it is an honour and a privilege to be a patron of this organisation and work so closely with you. And since I got into politics, there have been all these new phrases. Have you heard the phrase, social entrepreneur? What on earth does that mean? I have no idea. So when you hear the phrase social entrepreneur, just think of Peter Maiden and CHEXS. Yeah. He was there before. He was there before all these names were made up, before we heard about the big society. And I think the fact that Broxbourne is so far ahead of the big society is a good thing, but we've always done it in this community, in this borough. And that's thanks to Peter and his team. It's thanks to Mark Mills-Bishop and his team within the council, placing a premium on community action and doing the best for everyone in the borough of Broxbourne, trying to give everyone a chance. And where we identify parts of the community that are struggling, we get Peter involved, we get Joe involved, we get others involved, and that's what it's like to live in a community. And I like living in a community, and I love having you and your team in that community. So thank you very much, Peter.
Spectator Awards for his speaking, so that's unfair. I wanted to also reiterate that I think it was 6 years ago now we were hearing that the extended project, all the work that Peter and his wonderful team do, was closing down and the funding was disappearing. And you all know Pete, that wasn't going to stop him. So he was determined to make sure that the community work that him and his team did not only stayed as it was, but actually grew. And CHEXS is a testament of the work that they have put in to support the community with the vital work that they do. For me, the big theme is community. I think, and I'm going to talk about teenagers because that's who I work with, it's very difficult for a teenager to think about what does it mean to be British? What does it mean to live in Cheshunt? What does it mean to be the community of Cheshunt? And I think Pete and his team are one of the key people that help our teenagers and hopefully our primary schools to understand that. Because community isn't big. Community begins in the home, and it's about the community of your family or your friendship group that you surround you. But then it extends out to the locals, the neighbours, the community around you, the schools, the network systems. And of course any community, if you want it to succeed in this difficult world, needs to go the extra mile. And Pete and his team do very small things around this area very, very well. And they connect us all together to allow us to understand what Cheshunt is, to understand each other, and to work together to create a supportive environment for the young people and parents of CHEXS. I think they are incredible and absolutely vital. I think in the day when big ideas tend to come down from above that don't always have the impact, don't forget the small ones, because actually small and local is incredibly powerful. So thank you to them and the team. You do wonderful work, and I look forward to chairing and seeing you in the future.
I know there are a few people frightened or a little bit nervous that I might put them on the spot to find out what the new branding is, and I am going to do that. And I'm not going to speak a lot because I haven't got a microphone, and I'm not going to sing like I did at my wedding. People have asked, why are we changing? Why is CHEXS changing? We're not changing. We were extended schools and we were extended services. But it was pretty clear that nobody really got what we did. And because we cover such a magnitude of support services, so Wimbledon County, there's the children's services, there's adult and family learning, there's community, CHEXS has really encompassed all of those areas. And we really epitomise the Social Values Act with that money at £1, whether it's from a public or private fundraising, wherever it's come from, reaches out and benefits that bigger area. So what we did is we changed it. We've gone to our working name. Everyone knew us as CHEXS, but we were Cheshunt Extended Services. That's now gone. It's just CHEXS. And the CHEXS really epitomises what CHEXS is about. C. Paul, what does C stand for? Please, where is he gone?
Community.
Community. That was you, Dave. No. Yeah, community. How does CHEXS work with the community? There's loads of projects. What we try to do is we have a project, and that project benefits different areas. So just for example, Lee Valley. You can see down the pillar here about Lee Valley Park. Is Paul here? I've not seen Paul. Is he here from Lee Valley? No, maybe running late. We have sites where we can manage and work with the park, so we're maintaining the upkeep of the area. Young people are benefiting. It's going to go into primary schools soon as well. About life skills, working with others, problem solving, application to numbers. It enhances the community and it supports young people and their families. Senior citizens, is Sheila here? Sheila Farmer, she's got a group going. She's got a group going. She's got to pop up for a cup of tea. How the young people can support them with the senior citizens meals, that type of approach. And then at Cedars Park making those willow sculptures, not only in the primary schools, but in other areas, Homestead's Tunnel, Cedars Park. So we're trying to support the local community. What is the next one? E? H. I was testing you, Paul. You've got that finger on the pulse. Homes. How do we support the homes? Well, we have a parenting support worker, the salt of the earth, Kerry. You know, her disposition makes people feel comfortable and relaxed. And then from that home approach, whether it's a referral, CHEXS is unique. We don't work with anyone, we work with everyone. Social services, yes, we'll work with. Private families, we will. If the threshold is a threshold, we'll still work with them. If it's a self-referral, the school need us to support them. From that approach, we can then do interventions. But 9 times out of 10, it's then linked to a child or a young person. And then it then links to the next one. Go on and Dave.
Enrichment.
Enrichment. Enrichment. We used to call it something different. And intervention, it was called. Our programmes were first. And a young person at Cheshunt School said, we don't want to call it intervention. It sounds as though we're being naughty. We want enrichment. And then it got to move to enrichment. And then enrichment seems to be the buzzword all of the time. Enrichment, we are enriching. So that a meaning and a purpose. I'm dyslexic. Not had a great experience in education. I can't spell for toffee. I've got my B's and my D's mixed up. So if you don't get any emails from me, you'll see a B and a D and writing under stress, which is a lot of the time. And it's about giving someone an aspiration and an expectation that they can achieve, and everyone has a niche, and having vehicles for engagement, and those enrichments do it. Julie, Children and Young People Support Worker, another Salt of the Earth, she works with young people, whether it's with the ECAF, doing ESOL, COPS training, and then working with those young people to support them. So that's how we're enriching the local area. The next one? Extra mile. Now, I don't want to sound like a politician, but we were never told to go taking 24 quite challenging young people camping in the forest for weeks. It's our 8th year this year. That's the extra mile. We do 17 schools, 17 parents' evenings every term, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We weren't told we had to do it, but that's how we outreach. It's going that extra mile to make the difference. And the final one, support. We support massive areas. It's not with children, it's not with young people, it's not with adults, it's community people. Everyone matters. Whether it's a maths or an English course, a cake decorating course, all of those areas are so, so important. And CHEXS has moved forward in massive ways, lots of impact now. But it's not about me, it's not about the team, it's about everyone collectively working together. Right from Charles the patron, the trustees, Joe Gann, busy head teacher. Will you be the chair of a charity? Well, I don't know about that, Pete, but please be the chair. It's going to cost you a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort. You've got to micromanage me at times, you've got to reel me in. Yes, Gary Virtue, the vice chair. Different perspective to primary. Rachel Engel, massive insight in business. We've then got Pat Bishop, secretary. We've then got Tony Gorton, head at St Joseph's. And then other people that aren't linked to education. Sheila Farmer, she's not here, she's running a senior citizens club. Fantastic lady, so much influence and steering us in the right direction. We've then got Dave, who's constantly telling me to do things and I'm not doing it this and should be doing this. He's been such a Jedi master in steering me, my education, different areas, marketing and publicising. And more. I don't want to spend £1,000 on key rings, I want to spend £1,000 taking more young people to chop trees down. However, if people don't know what you're doing, it's not going to happen forever. There's a balance of that experience. And then Peter Wilkinshaw from B3living, who's been absolutely fantastic. So they're the trustees, the team, Julie Kerry, Joe, administrator at the back, holds it all together in the force, many long hours in the office by herself, because we're always out in the field. And then from that, the people we support and they support us. 17 settings, 3 secondaries, 12 primaries and 2 children's centres currently. And having that ideology, the heads are under so much strain, was it 5 different Ofsted frameworks since 2012, where it is. They are so governed on being inspected on their setting. But for a head teacher at Downfield, Sarah, to say, I will welcome Millbrook parents, I will welcome parents that aren't even in our geographical location, to do an English course, to do a cake decorating course. To have that type of unification is amazing. And for that's a real dedication to the commitment to the local heads in the schools. From that, our stakeholders. I know I'm going to miss people out, because I'm saying it from here, not from something I've written down. B3living. I'm going to start getting emotional here. B3living, from day one, have been a great backer for the charity. And before, about having a vision, a partnership, steering us, asking us to do certain things because they had more expertise and more advice and more input in certain areas. Working with them, then they helped us financially. All of the things we do, CHEXS, none of it would happen without partnerships. Ian from the CVS, Fountain of Knowledge, who then puts us onto an accountant, who's Campbell. And the only advice I would give anybody, if they're going to become a charity, a CIO charity or a KIC or whatever, you need a Jedi Master as an accountant. Because I would not be here today, or the charity would not be here today, with the accountancy. And then all of it linking it with the Broxbourne Council, partnerships. People say partnership really easily. A partnership is something about 2 parties get something from it. From Sainsbury's, from Hewitt Nurseries. Payment in kind. How much does it cost Sainsbury's to take a lorry off the road to do road safety to 12 primary schools to year 6s? How much does it cost Sainsbury's to do an socio-economic tour with the year 6s? It costs them a fortune. Why are they doing it? Because they want to give back to the community. Aylit's the Grow Club. Fantastic success. None of it would happen without Chris and this team. These partnerships are key. Absolutely key. And then support, family and adult learning, HAFLs, Hertfordshire Regional College, specific courses, accredited courses, progression. And then bringing in our own, Brian's of this world, Penny's, Jackie's. As we were giving specific courses for parents and community members. All of this would not be possible without the partnerships. Great getting a partnership, maintaining a partnership, in my experience, which is limited, is the hardest task. And when we're looking at partnerships now for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, we must be doing something right to collaborate and keep working together. I've talked a load, but hopefully now people can really see how CHEXS work and with a heartbeat. And we're needs-led and we're constantly doing evaluations to make sure we stay focused and we're not off on a tangent where it's not really the required need. So that's CHEXS. Thanks ever so much for coming across. I've just got 2 people that I'd like to do just speak on how they've experienced CHEXS. The first person is Sally and the second person is Amber. So I don't want to put any pressure on you, Sally. If you'd like to come, just have a little chat just about how you've experienced CHEXS.
I've got mine written down.
Okay.
As Pete said, my name's Sally Hudson. I'm a mum with 4 grown boys. When my youngest started full-time school, I decided it was time to do something for me. I know CHEXS did courses, so I signed up for literacy level 1, level 2 and numeracy level 1. During these courses I was allowed to be assessed for dyslexic, which showed I was at high risk. So you can imagine how pleased I was when I passed both of them. I continued with level 2 on numeracy. My tutor was brilliant. She made it so much more fun than at school. She was brilliant, Sue Jones. She put me forward for the Family Learning Award which I came runner-up in 2012. Yes, I thought it was Waltham Cross. Imagine my surprise when it was the whole of Hertfordshire, me, runner-up. You know. I also did a volunteer course in school, which gave me the confidence to then start applying for jobs in schools. I first applied for a couple, didn't even get an interview. Okay, what have I done wrong? Maybe I'm not that good. Went on to do a work into skills course. Got a CV done. Next time I got a job, an interview, and I got offered a job. Thanks, Mr. Connor. I love working at Hurst. Best boost ever to my self-esteem. I've done many courses with CHEXS, like the first aid course with Brian. I've done many of them through over the years, and I've done the healthy eating course. CHEXS has given me a big boost to my self-esteem and confidence. They offer so much more for the family, like the craft activities and the growing clubs that they do in the schools, giving my children the chance to do much more than they would do at home. I'm currently working with CHEXS family support with some issues we're having at home, with some family issues, which I'm very grateful of. I've also made many friends through CHEXS for the different courses. Some I still keep in touch with. I would lastly like to say a big thank you to Pete and the girls for helping me get to where I am now. Thank you.
I think that says it all. I'm quite emotional myself. Amber, could I say a few words?
Well done, Amber.
Oh, I'm a bit emotional now too. Right, well, I'm Amber. I'm a Year 13 student at Goffs School. I first started working with CHEXS about 18 months ago, I think. There was a notice in Assembly that just said about community projects that we could volunteer for, and I didn't really know much about it, but I wanted to join in anyway, and I met Julie through that. And so we began just by visiting primary schools and doing questionnaires, and I began to kind of get an idea about what the charity did and how much it involved the community, because we were asking the children what they wanted to do. It wasn't just, you know, just adults just piecing together ideas of, no offence, what they thought. They were actually asking the children. They really brought in the community's kind of opinions to it, which I think really encompasses what it's all about. It's not about just one person, they bring in everyone. I then did my work experience with Julie, who's obviously the Children and Young People Support Worker, and I didn't know what I wanted to do at that point in time, but I just knew I liked to help people. And working with Julie for that week made me realise that I want to become a social worker. And through doing that, I literally, meeting Julie and Pete has been honestly the best experience that I could have ever had in preparation for that. I admire them both, and Kerry as well. I haven't worked with Kerry as much, but so much. And I'm now hopefully going to study social work at Leeds in September. Through that, I've also worked with the young carers, and I've spoken to them a lot, and the impact that the work that CHEXS do has on them and the support that they give is just unbelievable. And the Senior Citizens Party, which I ran at school, was better than any Christmas present ever. It was amazing. So I can't thank them enough for all the experience that they've given me, and I hope that they'll still have me around.
So that's what CHEXS is. We're here and open to engage and to support, and like everyone says on the thing, everyone does matter. And it's about making sure we stay needs-led and the partners around us keep supporting us, and we can keep supporting them to support the families in the local community. And thanks ever so much for your time. I'm pretty emotional myself. I don't really get emotional, and it's just great seeing everybody here, and hopefully we'll be here in the next 5 years doing our celebration for our anniversary. So thanks ever so much for your time. There's a lovely buffet at the back, and also I believe the paper are here, and they would like to take a group photograph. So I'll take home over responsibility of the photographer.